guys, my name is Brady Mossberger and this is the Brady Mossberger Goalie School. And today we're going to be talking everything to do with your stance, your butterfly, and everything to do with movement. So this is going to be a really important video for you guys to watch. So right now we're going to get into your stance. This is going to be a really important thing to get down. Lots of goalies have lots of little mistakes that they make. So first of all, you don't want to be bending your back over to make you look like you're lower. You want to get your knees nice and low to the ground. That way your legs are loaded. You can explode either which way. One thing that goalies make mistakes on all the time is their hands. They'll either bring them down like this, they're wasting coverage because they're covering what their pad's covering, or they'll have them back. You want to have your gloves out in front of you. You can see them, you can track pucks better, and that way your stick will be out in front of you instead of being back like this or way out like this. You want to have everything nice, square the puck out, ready to make saves as you need them. One important thing goalies also make mistakes on is having their legs too far apart or too narrow. It's one thing that when you're moving, you have your legs a little bit more narrow, that way you can move around a little bit better. But whenever you get in your shot prep, you want to get down lower, but you don't want to be low like this, because then you want to move, you can't move around. You want to be nice, a nice balance between being narrow and wide, down low. That way whenever we butterfly, not only is it faster to get down the ice, but as you can see, our head barely moves, and that helps with tracking pucks. So you see, barely moved, that's going to help with tracking pucks. So a couple of general rules of thumb as we get into our movement is, first of all, always rotate our head first. That way we know exactly where we're going. First of all, you should routinely be making head checks around the ice to be aware of everything around you, but whenever we move, it's head rotates, then we move. Head rotates, then we move. Another important thing, sticking our flat hole at all times. A lot of goalies, they'll kind of have it around or have it up. A good goalie to watch to see what not to do is Tristan Jarry. He'll move around, his stick will be like this. I love Jarry, don't love what he does with his stick. So it's here, flat on the ice, here, flat on the ice, dragging flat. An important thing, make sure your stick fits you. I will say this a lot over the course of this channel. If your stick is too big or too small, it'll be like this, all over the place. If it fits you right, it'll be flat on the ice. Another really important thing to get down is rotating before we move. I have a hard time demonstrating what not to do, but it's basically pushing and then rotating. Whenever we push, you see that? We rotate, open up, and then push. What that does is not only helps us out with another important thing, which is our weight, which I'll get into next, but it gets you nice, ready to push. You're on your angle and your square because you rotate and went back versus like something like that. You might not be on angle, you might not be square. So we always want to rotate, move our head, keep our stick in a 5-hole, and push off with a strong leg, which I'll get into now. One really, really important thing that goalies make mistakes of is managing their weight. So that means whenever we push, we get loaded up and we explode. We get loaded up, explode. That's one thing. You want to get your feet close together and get a hard, strong push. So whenever it's on the ice, it's up high, explode. You want to be making every push as explosive as possible. So it's not stuff like that. We get our weight where we're coming from. We always push from where we're coming from. So if we're pushing right to left, we use our right leg. Vice versa for the other side. So we go, we're pushing, weight strong, push, stop hard with your other leg, and you swing it back in. So to stay on angle, this is what it'll look like. So you stop hard. It'd be like you stop and you rotate this leg in. Like a lot of goalies, what they'll do, I did this for a long time, it's like stopping with both legs. No, you do it in steps. So it's stop, rotate in to be square. Another couple rules of thumb, you can do it for any movement, but a lot of goalies, they'll swing themselves, they'll use their arms, and to rotate, they'll do this. You don't want to do that. It's engage your core and your legs and this, because everywhere we move, we keep our upper body still. It's my hands aren't moving. My hands aren't moving. That way we're not all over the place. Our weight is nice and stacked. You want to always be stacked over push leg, stuff like this. You want to be ready to make a save at any point in time, and that's why your hands need to be still. One thing I have always kind of messed up with, you can probably see in these videos, is goalies, they'll push, they'll be bobbing their head. They'll be over like this, over like this. Whenever we push, we want to be low, get our knees down, be athletic, so our head should be level. So, we're pushing it. A good drill to demonstrate this is to use a stick and have a coach or someone put it at your shoulder, your head level, and then make sure that whenever you're moving, it stays in the same spot. Another super basic movement you've been seeing me do it the whole time is called the T push. Some people call it a push, a T glide, whatever, but you've been seeing me do it all the time. It's that basic push that you've been seeing me do. So it's rotate, feet together, push. You're making a T, so you're pushing like this, controlling it like this. You push, stop hard, rotate in. So, I mean, I've basically been talking about this the whole time. I'll just show it game speed, so it's like that. This is a really important thing to get down. Whenever you're younger, you won't be able to get as far. You want to be able to get from one side of the crease all the way to the other. Shuffling is such a basic movement that we do so much. A lot of goalies don't think about it, and a lot of them, biggest mistake you see goalies make is that head wobble. So shuffle is just that. It's the shuffle, your feet aren't moving at all. And, you know, goalies, they'll be doing stuff like that. You want to make sure you're ready. Because one thing, it's important to visualize the drills you do. Oftentimes, we'll put pucks, we'll number them, you go puck 1 to puck 5. That isn't just a long T push. You need to visualize that as a pass from point to point. That way you can put this stuff together in games. So shuffling, a lot of time it turns into a movement. Shuffling is going to be someone dragging a puck. Whenever you're younger, you can't move as far. It's just for people dragging the puck. So it's this. Super important to get used to making small adjustments in your shuffle as accurate as possible and as quick as possible. One habit and mindset that you should be in all the time is trying to beat every pass on your feet. So if there's a long pass, if you can beat it on your feet, you want to. So first of all, instead of long pass, instead of this, we'll get into what that is later, but instead of doing that, you know, whenever you're younger, you won't be able to push that as far, but you want to be able to get to a point where you can beat that on your feet. That way, if it makes a pass, you're ready, you're on your feet, you're good to go. And then another thing, whenever you're younger again, is to a lesser extent, you want to be able to shuffle everywhere. So if you can T-push instead of butterfly slide, that's good. If you can shuffle, that's even better because your feet aren't moving. So, you know, you're younger, you might need to do a T-push for there. You get older, it's just, that's good, you're nice, you're ready to go. That way you can, instead of T-push, instead of that, it's simply that. All right, so Aiden, what are your 3 key takeaways from this video?
My 3 takeaways from this video are: beat everything on your feet if possible. A shuffle is always preferable. The next one is that your head moves first before everything. And then finally, always rotate before you move.
Yes, sir, let's go. Those are good. So we're done talking about our stance and our standing movement for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something, learned some of the fundamentals that maybe you were messing up a little bit, and hopefully it helps you stop some more pucks. I'll see you guys later.